I thought one of the interesting things talking to Sam about this was I thought I wouldn't say strident, but of course I'm open to anything, blah, 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 but strong dismissal, I think, of an advertising-based model.
I would say strident. I was pretty shocked by, I mean, he didn't outright dismiss the possibility, but he came back to it a couple times. He just does not really believe in ads, and they're trying to prioritize other business models right now.
Yeah, and I think that's a mistake. I mean, I think it's missing their opportunity. And as I think I said to him, the way you get, or maybe this was afterwards, when we sort of talked a little bit after, I'm like, any ad product you launch is going to suck. The question is, does it suck in 2025 or does it suck in 2028? Because the way to get good ones is to just get out there and do it and to iterate. Now, again, I wrote an article ages ago about Apple and culture, and one of the challenges they had is the nature of web services it's the exact opposite of a phone. You build, like, the whole challenge with building a phone is you make the phone once and you can't change it, right? Now, that's not totally right. They do make adjustments, like they get that initial feedback of people bringing their phones back, what's wrong with them, XYZ. They will make small adjustments in the production line, but that will affect phones weeks or months down the road, right? Like they have to deal with the ones that are there. And that forces a certain sort of mindset and culture, which is you measure twice, cut once, because you only get to cut once.
Right.
And I think this is one of the reasons why Apple traditionally sucked at web services. You go back to the Mobile Me thing, it was this beautiful interface and it did all this sort of stuff. And then it fell apart once real people started using it, because the nature of the web is you can't do that. There's so many variables. There's so many things. You have to be able to fail gracefully. And you fail like at multiple steps, and you can recover, and then it's super iterative. You can be
It's just a series of updates.
Right away. Right. But it's also just the nature of it is with software in general, there's always bugs in software. Every time you ship, there's bugs. It's a decision: are the bugs that we know are there acceptable, and knowing there's also a lot of bugs we don't know are there that are going to show up when they get there. And this is a hard thing to get right. Like, we had a pretty rough passport update in January where basically we got this balance wrong. And, and we're doing things internally to revisit this, and, stay tuned. There's going to be like a beta program and things along those lines that we're going to try to make sure we don't have a similar episode again. But it's hard. It's a hard problem, and it's very different than shipping a phone. And the nature of being a web service and something like advertising is like that. You're only going to get good at it by doing it. And you can't be precious about it. And there was, I feel, a degree of preciousness that was coming across from Sam and about their product, which didn't surprise me. It's my expectations and assumptions about OpenAI kind of generally. But I do think it's a big internal obstacle to them achieving what I think they can achieve, which is the hardest thing to do, which is a consumer aggregator destination site. Like I told him, they're the first one since Facebook. That's how rare this is. It's like an every 15-year sort of event, and you're only going to get good by doing it, and even if it sucks to start.
Yeah, well, and the other thing that resonated as I was reading the interview was you talking about your time writing Stratechery. There has not been a company to emerge since you've been writing Stratechery. Like, all the dominant consumer tech companies were in place at that point when you started. And now OpenAI has emerged here with ChatGPT as this unicorn. The alternate timeline here, and like the question that I wonder about with deep research, was also something you raised to Sam, is like, this is a product that has a ton of value to high agency people, but how big is that market really? How many high agency people are out there that are willing to understand this tool, pay $200 a month, and take advantage of it? And I think that is a pretty small market at the end of the day, relative to what's possible with 1 billion people otherwise.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think this just applies to subscription products in general. I know with Stratechery, my market is limited. Like,
Yeah.
even though I keep the price relatively low because I want to have a larger market than I might otherwise, but the fact of the matter is I'm just never going to be the size and scale of anything that's free. And that's even before you get to the whole aggregator concept and capturing the whole world and all those sorts of pieces.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, yeah, limiting themselves to a subscription-based business model that's a nice thing for an Anthropic to do. I think it's a dereliction of potential for OpenAI to do. They should be thinking bigger. And the reality is, when it comes to consumer tech companies, bigger means advertising. That's just the way it is. And the thing about advertising is, it's not, people have such a bias against it. And I've defended advertising for ages and ages. And there is an irony where I don't do advertising, but that's because I'm not big. Like, for someone of my scale, subscriptions are great. When you're big, the magic of advertising is the whole world is your addressable market because it's free, and you get to raise prices on customers because it's the advertisers that are paying more, not the customers. And that's why it's inevitable that a large consumer tech company, or at least a web services company, is going to be ad supported. That's the way you grow revenue in the long run. And even if you want to have a middle ground, like say a Netflix, like the ad, Netflix's growth has been so large because they added the ad product, in part, like, they were saturated on people willing to pay $15 a month or $18 a month, or however, what it's up to now. And so that lets them charge more. It opens up that funnel at the top to move them down. And yeah, I think it's a mistake. And I think the longer they wait, it'll be worse for the business, and the more likely it is they just miss the opportunity as a whole, and someone comes along. And the other thing is, people that are high agency that use these tools and will pay money, believe me, every Anthropic release, I'm checking it out, I'm testing it. I already talked about it. I use Grok.
It's a very competitive market
OpenAI now. Like, yeah, you're fighting for the hardest customers to keep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, you talk about a bias against advertising. One note is, I am insulated from the state of advertising on the open internet these days, because I'm mostly just reading Substack and reading Stratechery and subscriptions and, Financial Times, Bloomberg, whatnot. But every year around the NCAA tournament, I'll seek out information from the open web.
Make your pool picks.
Exactly. And like, man, oh man.
Who do you have winning, Andrew?
I have Auburn winning.
Oh, see, I knew it. There is one clear choice this year based on like the numbers and the metrics. Like, one team is top 5.
I'm not choosing Duke basketball.
It is Duke basketball.
There's no way. I chose Auburn because Bruce Pearl has always struck me as like a scumbag extraordinaire college basketball coach. And college basketball rewards the scumbags. So I'm pulling for the Auburn Tigers. But the point is, you go to CBS Sports, you go to Sports Illustrated, and the experience has just become unbelievably degraded and depressing. So I understand why advertising may make people's skin crawl in the modern era.
Yeah, but you know which ads don't suck?
Facebook.
That's right. Facebook,
Instagram, that is. I haven't been to Facebook in years, but Instagram, they do it elegantly.
Yes, they do. Now, that it's not clear how you get those quality of ads in an AI experience, right? Like, to start out, you're just having like display ads, right? And you have great targeting because people are typing in their entire like world into your little box. But yeah, it's going to suck. And that's painful. But the way you get to not sucking is by doing. And we'll see whether they do it. I do have to make an admission. I've been meaning to mention this, I think, for a long time.
Okay.
Early on in Stratechery, I was very critical of like people that like ad blockers and all that sort of thing. And I think I might have used, it was an exponent, I called these people entitled, which really set a lot of people off.
I bet.
And because like, hey, if you want the access, like that's how you pay for it is the ads, right? Just don't read it if you don't like the ads.
Oh my God. Holier than thou, Ben. I missed that era.
Yeah. So, at some point the web got so bad. I used the web a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I had to do, I think with Chrome, like the one uses like uBlock Origin or something on those lines, which now is like deprecated because Google updated Chrome, I'm sure for very valid reason, just happened to kill the best ad blocker. And so like for a day, I didn't have an ad blocker, and it was horrific.
Can't believe
And
people
I
have
had to
been
get
living
some
like
sort of-
this.
yeah. And I just needed to tell my audience who's been here a long time, I'm now entitled. I'm sorry. I
Oh
called you
boy.
that. Yeah, it was. I just need to come clean.
Ben comes down from the mountaintop, hat in hand,
yeah,
signing up for an ad blocker.
it's necessary, and I'm a bad person, but you know
I
what?
hate to
We
see
do what
it.
you got to do. I know.
Yeah. Well, it's bad out there. You know,
It
you
is
need an
rough.
ad blocker.
It's so rough.